swipe on Tinder in 2015, in 2015 led towards a team of nearly 47,000 people, including yourself. Just it's crazy when you think of it like that.
Welcome, 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 everyone, to a dual cast between my two podcasts, the Travel Business Mentor podcast and the Network Marketing Mentor podcast. And I am super excited today to have a very, very special guest. This gentleman is a titan in the network marketing industry. He has the largest organization in his company. I fall into his organization, and I am very blessed to be counting him as a mentor to me. And this is the topic of our podcast, mentorship. And there is no one better to explain the importance of quality mentorship and being a mentor than this gentleman. It's my great pleasure to bring on Mr. David Dacosta. How are you today, David?
Hey, Dan, oi, I'm feeling fantastic. My first time doing this. That's what I wanted to say first. My first time doing this is an honor. I've seen so many other people do podcasts, and I've always said, I would love to do a podcast. I feel I've got so much value to add, and I feel, that between me and you and your personality, my personality, this is going to be really funny. It's going to be really cool. We're going to really bless and help a lot of people, which is the most important thing. Give it entertainment, but most importantly, give a lot of value. I'm feeling great, and I wanted to say I wanted to keep it so real, raw, uncut, and from the heart, and not scripted and posh and presented. That's why I'm dressed like this. If you see me anywhere in this world, if you see me in Sainsbury's, if you see me on a plane, if you see me in a gym, I'm in a three-piece suit and tie, as you know, Dan, right? But today, I'm representing my two favorite places: the UK, of course, London, wearing my Arsenal top, my certified Gooner, and wearing my New York Nets hat. America is my second home, specifically Atlanta, where our company is based. So I wanted to be casual today. I did lose my suit in the dry cleaners. But anyway, no, I'm just joking. But, I wanted to keep it so casual. I want to be real. And I'm looking forward to having a lot of fun with this podcast. So thank you so much, Dan Ori. Again, you said a few nice things about myself, but I have to give it back to yourself. And I've been in business for well over a decade. I've met 250,000 entrepreneurs, and hands down, you're one of the most amazing men I've ever met in business since I started in 2014 odd. Your heart is as big as your bank account. I don't know if I can say that, but you truly are someone who I really look up to, admire, and it's a pleasure working with you. Your knowledge and wisdom in our industry and our business of travel is second to none. I don't really know many people that have done accomplished in their career what you have. So yeah, it's an honor to call you a business partner, honor to call you a friend. So thank you so much for the invite. Let's go.
Oh, thank you, David. And you are obviously the first, the number one person I had on my list to have on my podcast was Mr. David Dacosta. So I'm super excited. And yeah, like we said, we're going to keep it casual today. For those of you that normally see David, he is in those sharpest suits. He's the sharpest dresser you've ever seen. We're going to forgive him that Arsenal top. I don't know what's going on there. Mind you, I'm not in my Albion top. So, so, but yeah, we'll keep it
Are you
relaxed today. It's a conversation.
do you
And
team or
that,
anything?
yeah.
You support any football team?
Yeah, Brighton and Hove Albion for my sins. So yeah, yeah. They're just down the road. But
Makes
yeah,
sense, man.
and you know what? It that's what I love about this is that all life, all business, as
Mm,
Eric Worre says, is conversation, and
yeah.
it's just fantastic to be having a conversation here with you, David Costa. And I don't want to spend too much time on fluff here because your
Mm,
story has power, and I'd really like to delve into your story, and talk about your journey through network marketing, mentorship. But before that, what happened before network marketing? Where was David Dacosta before that? Was there college? Was there university? Tell us about it.
Well, let's go right to the beginning. So my mom and my dad, what they were doing. No, that's too far back. So I was an egg. But for me, I actually was born in Nigeria. Some people don't know, my background. Born in Nigeria, I came to the UK when I was 3 years old. I was a baby, and I grew up in the UK. When I got to university, I got a very good degree in media technology. Then I got my first job, my first graduate job as a cameraman, film director, video editor, working for a small Sky TV company, filming very boring corporate documentaries and putting them onto Sky TV, right? Now, this was kind of like my passion, making films, making content, but it wasn't my income. It was on average 900 to £1,000 a month, right? Um, Living in London as a young man, for me, one of my biggest goals was to spend more time with my future wife and children than I'll spend with my boss and colleagues. That was like my big thing. So at this time, working a dead end job, not making hardly any money, it was quite a tough experience for me. And that was my life before network marketing. And this is going to sound so, I used to fantasize and I used to think about what would it be like if I actually had a bit of money? What would my life look like if I had the time to do those things I really wanted to do? And really sad. And I was thinking about, as a single guy, thinking about, okay, I'm going to work this 9 to 5. I'm going to work so hard. I'm going to come home 8 p.m., 9 p.m. I want to run a nice hot bath for my wife. I want to spend some quality time. I want to do this. And, I was already planning in my head how I was going to be time broke and how I was going to be broke in my marriage one day, in my life, in my 40s, in my 50s, in my 60s, because I had no concept that normal people like me and you can earn a bit more money than the average person, can have a bit more freedom, can be retired at the age of 29. This was not a thing to me. So I was already planning the struggle, how I was going to struggle, how I was going to, make ends meet to do nice things for my family, my loved ones. So my life was, I'm not going to say bad in any way, shape, or form. Very privileged. Grew up in London. Well, I was going to say safe. Started off in Old Kent Road. Seen friends killed. I've seen friends doing life in prison. So I grew up in the hood. Some people don't know that because I'm well spoken. I grew up in a very rough neighborhood. One of the most gangster, dangerous schools in the whole of the United Kingdom. Shout out to St. Joseph's Academy, it made me tough. But so I grew up poor. I grew up poor. You've heard many people say the story. My life before network marketing was, brought up in a Christian household, amazing parents who instilled good values and belief in me, an amazing family. My brothers are my best friends, my three brothers, and that was my life before network marketing. Love my football, love filming videos, making my own movies and things like that. So just living a very normal, simple life, financially a mess, but always thinking sometimes about what would it be like, but not really thinking it's possible to have success.
And I love you hit on the, financially a mess. You've told me before, funny stories about how you used to take public transport in a very unique way, David. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this?
Let me just check, see if there's any police officers on the Zoom. No, no police officers on Zoom. So okay. So yeah, I haven't actually told this story for quite a while now, but I had my graduate job in London, and then I needed to kind of level up a bit and make a bit more money. So I started looking around after 10 years working a dead end job. Now this is kind of the crossover between working my last ever jobs and getting full time in business in network marketing. One of the well, yeah, technically the second to last job I ever had was another TV and film job, cameraman, film director on a studio set, and it was far out in Newark, Northgate. So I don't know if you know Newark, it's quite far out from London. And I couldn't find a job in London that was going to pay me more than £1,000 a month, roughly. So I'm looking, and I had to go further afield. So now I'm far away from my family. It's a decent 2 hour journey door to door, 2.5 hour journey door to door from my family in London. I'm in Newark, Northgate, beautiful place. It was a very challenging time in my life, being, it's not about race, but I was the only black person I saw for the whole period there. Like I was in a place so foreign to me. I'd never been to that place before. I had no friends there, very, very lonely. And I'm working in a TV company over there, and I've rented a small apartment, shared accommodation. And on the weekends, I want to go back to London to see my family. And of course, I'm far out. So the train tickets were about 60 to 70 pounds. Now I'm earning a bit more than £1,000 a month. I'm earning about 1,300, after tax, probably still back to £1,000 a month. So I'm still super broke, just earning a little bit more than living in London. But I really want to see my family on the weekends. I'm missing them badly. So I can't physically afford the ticket to go back to London every Friday night. It just wasn't mathematically possible. But the train is there. How am I going to do it? So been a bit of I wasn't a bad boy, but being a bit of a hustler and, thinking outside the box. So I get onto the train with no ticket. This is what I was doing on some weekends. And I have to hide in the toilet, Dan. I had to hide in the toilet. Now, bearing in mind, this is Friday evening after work. We work 9 to 5, meaning by the time I get to the train, pack my bag, my football kit to see my family, my brothers, it's rush hour, meaning the train toilet is very much in use. Meaning it smells like, I don't know if I can say, but no, it smells like kangaroo poo. It wasn't pleasant at all. Now, this is a good 1.5 hour to 2 hour journey, and then you stop, and the train will be delayed for 74 minutes due to a rail misfunction. And I'm just like, this smells bad. Now, people are banging on the door. They want to use the toilet. It's rush hour. And I'm there thinking it could be the train conductor outside. People are going to ask me for my ticket, which I don't have because I have no money. From Northgate to King's Cross, my heart is just beating, scared that when I get to King's Cross, are the police going to be waiting for me? Am I going to get in trouble? But I was so lonely and I was missing my family so much. I couldn't bear being far away from them in a strange, faraway city, town that I've never heard of before. And I've got no friend, no one knows me. No one was really friendly over there. My work colleagues, we didn't really, socialize outside of work, So I'm traveling to London every day. And that was some of the experience that really shaped me, made me tough. Because if you can do that, you can do anything. Smelling other people's, stuff in a small train cubicle for 2 hours is not fun. But, you got to do what you got to do.
So for those that might be finding network marketing hard, just take that train and
Yeah.
take
Yeah,
David's
okay,
special cabin.
Yeah. Apologies to TFL and London Network. I pay a lot of money to you guys now, but back then I didn't have any, so apologies. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And you were saying this is kind of a time where you were then transitioning from, sort of normal jobs, what we would say that kind of employed work, starting to look at network marketing. And what were your first kind of types of network marketing company you got involved with? How did you get involved with them? Tell us a bit about that, David.
Okay, so even before network marketing, I don't know, I don't even know where it came from. I'll be very honest. Um, Me and my brother no, do you know what? I give huge props and a huge shout out to my younger brother, Toby Dacosta, who's your upline as well,
Yeah.
and I'm his upline, of course, in our company. He, I believe, was actually the first person in our family to branch out of the normal traditional 9 to 5 job and start his own business. He had a property business where I think he was like the middleman connecting people who wanted to buy properties. Um, and I think he was making some okay money, nothing special in the world of finance. But for where we were, normal people working normal 9 to 5, making less than £2,000 a month, I think he passed that £2,000 a month mark over a few periods of time. So I'm like, he's making decent money, and for a young man at that age, maybe 25 years old, he's doing very well. So he was the first person to branch out and think that you can make money outside of a job, right? And I remember us going to a Rich Dad Poor Dad seminar, and typical setup, 500 people in the room, speak on stage, great pitch, change your life, start business. Yeah, yeah, let's go. We can do it. Motivation. And at the end, it sounds so good until they tell you can't afford it. The price point was I think it was about £1,000 for coaching, right? It was £1,000. And me and Toby, we didn't have a pound. Never mind £1,000. We didn't have a pound. So I think they said something like, if you can team up with someone, you can split the cost down the middle, 500 each, blah, blah, blah. I looked at Toby and said, you ain't got 500, I ain't got 500. Well, between us, we could probably find 500 somewhere. And then they said, put your hand up if you want to team up with someone. Two people come together, 500 each, make it a grand, and you can get onto the course. So I'm looking around and I see only one person put their hand up. I think maybe one or two people put their hand up. Some of them already paired up quickly. And there was this one lady put her hand up saying that she wanted to partner with someone. And I'm like, okay, I locked in. And then they let one get up and the session was over. So I had to find this lady. I'm looking, and now there's a crowd of 500 people. I'm running around. I was looking in the toilets, and don't look in the toilets for women. It's dangerous. Uh, but I'm running around looking, and she's gone. And I go back to Toby, and I'm like, that was our opportunity. Our first exposure to business, to entrepreneurship, or for me, was a Rich Dad Poor Dad seminar that I couldn't afford, and I couldn't even find a person who would have gone half with me. And after that, I was like, wow, okay, I missed the opportunity. But then I felt something like, bro, we can start business. We can do something. We can be businessmen. We can make money. We just have to find the right opportunity. A good friend, which I almost owe my life to, the life I live today is so amazing. And I thank God every day. I wake up Monday morning and I get to spend quality time with my loved ones. The life I live today was really due to, firstly, God helping one of our friends, Nikki, to come to my brother's house and pitch them the first ever network marketing company that we ever joined. It was a health and wellness company about, it's kind of like energy drinks, but very healthy, very expensive energy drinks. And I'm in Oxford Brooks at university at the time. Yeah, I think I'm at this job. I'm at this job in Newark, Northgate. I'm far away from my family. And I think I'm on my way back home on the weekend to see my family. But this gentleman, Nicky, is at the house with Toby and John, who you know, and he's pitching them, got these energy drinks, drink this, tastes like but we're going to sell it and we're going to buy Lamborghinis. And my brothers call me and they're like, David, give me your credit card. Oh, I found this amazing business. We're going to sell these energy drinks. We're going to get Lamborghinis. Okay. Here's my card. Right. I was the easiest close in network marketing history. That was the worst pitch, the worst invite, the worst peak interest you could ever imagine in network marketing history. They genuinely said, David, we found this great company. We're going to sell energy drinks. We're going to get Lamborghinis. Not we're going to be financially free. Not we're going to get passive income. Not we're going to make £100 a week. We're going to buy Lamborghini Gallardo. That is $250,000 to £500,000 car. We're going to get that car from selling energy drinks. But I was so hungry for change in my life, so hungry, desperate, that there has to be another way. But I was like, so we're going to sell these energy drinks and we're going to buy Lamborghinis.
And
These are
they,
all dead.
yeah, that's it. And they say you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and that just proves it.
Right person, 100%. I was hungry and I was looking. So when you are feeling skeptical in our industry of network marketing, oh, he doesn't want to do it. She's too busy. He's already too famous. He's got a big following. He's already got money. She's too cool for this. You just never know. He's too busy. She's got 7 kids. You just never know who's really looking. Your social media might show that your life is amazing, but deep down in your heart, it may not be that amazing. So take that shot and give people that fair opportunity to see something that you saw. So yeah, we got into this health and wellness company, and I made absolutely no money. Right? Made no money. But what I got was the best change of mindset. I became an entrepreneur. I became a business thinker. I became someone who understood passive income, understood network marketing, understood personal development. I would take my shower when I was at that job in Northgate, and I'll put my iPhone 4, make my iPhone 4 or 5 on the sink in a cup so it can magnify the audio, and I'll play GoPro, Eric Worre's GoPro, beginning to end. I can recite every single chapter from GoPro, like the back of my hand, every single chapter, it's, and I was going to do an
So I'm
impression.
holding up the book for those on the video.
That's it. If you're
It's like
new,
the Bible, isn't it? It's,
yeah,
in
yeah.
a respectful way. But yeah,
If you're
it's
new to network marketing, read that, read it, but also listen to the audio, because you can't hear his enthusiasm, excitement, sadness, and emotions through the book. Obviously, you can hear it yourself, but when you listen to the audio as well, do both. You can hear how it was sounded. It was great. It was really, really good. So that was my first experience in network marketing, that health and wellness company. Yeah.
I love that, and I'll just quickly pivot off that as well. Is that I always say having the book to read is great, and also it's great to go to a little quick recall. It's like having a Bible on your shelf. There's a Bible on my shelf, but actually the audio is like going to church. It's like hearing the preacher, and
Yeah,
it's a different tone. It lands different, and 100%. I'm like yourself, David. I can't think of how many times I've
yeah,
listened to it. Const,
yeah.
constant.
I know
If
you can
I'm
just
not,
recite. Do you feel restless? Do you feel
yeah,
like you can
yeah,
just
yeah.
recite
That's
words?
it. Yeah, exactly. So I love that. So you've gone from your I've got the Rich Dad Poor Dad books here.
Wow. Okay.
Your
Cool.
Rich Dad Poor Dad, getting exposure to maybe something else is possible.
Yeah.
To then moving on to network marketing, discovering that and discovering GoPro. Your first network marketing foray not being necessarily successful, but
Yeah.
successful in a way that it's opened up the idea of things to you. And
Hmm.
I certainly had that. I joined a network marketing company, my first network marketing company, and it's a fantastic company. But
Mm.
the products didn't particularly land with me, and
Yeah.
it wasn't the right time for me, and I
Yeah.
probably didn't understand the opportunity as well as
Yeah.
I could. I then later on moved to other network marketing companies, and then eventually to this one.
Yeah.
But it was all part of the journey, and I'm so grateful that first exposure. And I still rave about that company, about how good its products
Me too.
are.
Me too.
But
Me too. I love this company, and I wanted to just not adjust what you said. That I didn't have any success financially. I didn't make. I mean, I made a few pounds, pennies here and there. Like you said, it wasn't my product, health and wellness. I've got a big belly. Um, but what I learned that set me up to making over 1 million in network marketing in the time I've been in it. It set me up for that because of the teaching, going through the pain, because this is a career. And sometimes people forget that oh, if I want to be a doctor, I can't just say, hey, hospital, I'm ready. No, there's pain of university, it's pain of maybe doing a master's, it's pain of graduating, going college, going through the training. There's pain and there's money to pay. Like I went to all the conventions, I paid all the monthly. Our monthly fee was like, call it £200 a month. And this is, I'm 25, 6, 7, 8, something like that. I don't know where I got that money from. We're very fortunate. We've got the best monthly fees out there in the game. Very, very tiny monthly fee, roughly £1 a day for the product that we have. But um, I don't know where I got the money from, but that is the grind. Like by all means necessary. I need to stay active in my business. I need to be a president in my company. I need to be at the convention. So I invested serious money into that company, into my mindset, into my growth, into my personal development. And these things have created the man I am today. Some of the words I regurgitate today in front of 7,000 people on stage is from what I picked up in the early years where I made no money, but I built the knowledge. It's like the gym. You don't get muscles on the first day of the gym. But if you keep doing it, you're going to see the results. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that. And this is brings us on really well to as well having the right, personal trainer, having the right mentor. And you were in a network marketing opportunity. I think it was the one just before this, but I think potentially you'd be able to correct me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you
I was going to
connected with
first travel.
yeah, and it's interesting. And you connected with a person in your upline who has become your mentor.
Yeah,
He's actually the founder of our network marketing business.
yeah.
Tell us more about that. How did you connect with him, and how
Yeah.
did that relationship develop?
Wow. So, I mean, we're not saying names or anything. Just keep it vague like that.
You can
Or
say his name. Yeah, that's fine. That's
okay,
fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, yeah,
perfect. So, I mean, when me and my brothers were young, my mother would say a prayer over us that God will help us find favor with people in high places. Now, at the time, a young 10-year-old, I don't know what the dog police is talking about. Like, what are you talking about? Find favor with people in high places. Someone's on a ladder. I don't know. Like, what are you talking about, mum? But she was praying for someone, you know, to mentor us, someone to lead us, someone to guide us, for us to find favor and to find a blessing, a relationship, a friendship with special people that can help elevate us. And that special person was, of course, our CEO of our company, Mr. Donald Bradley, a phenomenal gentleman, lives out there in Atlanta, Georgia. And the first company I ever was in was a travel company that he wasn't the CEO of, he wasn't the owner. He was a normal vet in the field like myself. And again, I've got a video on YouTube which is titled Tinder Changed My Life. It's very rare. People say, how did you meet your mentor? How do you get into network marketing in the travel space? And I'll say through Tinder. Sounds crazy. So let me explain a quick story, a bit quick as I can, because I can ramble. I get so passionate talking about this type of stuff. So I'm in this health and wellness company. We are selling weight loss products, energy drinks, healthy products, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm a hustler. I'm trying to find any way to do this business. I'm actually using Tinder to present my business opportunity with people. And I love using Tinder because I can swipe and change it to people in different countries. If I'm going to the convention in Vegas, I can start swiping people in Vegas. And I was always very, very clear about my intentions. I always said, whether I was single or in a relationship, I would always say in my bio, I'm in a relationship. I'm only looking to connect with friends and make friends with ambitious people. That was what I always said. Whether I'm single or in a relationship, I'm in a relationship because I don't want to mix the two. I understand Tinder's not a place for business, but it's a great app if you're going to a business trip in Vegas and you want to start connecting with people in Vegas, where you instantly going to get responses different to maybe some other social media platforms. I was actually using Tinder. So I meet a lady on Tinder, and I'm like, hey, would you like to have a look at my business? We have these amazing products, helping one product, blah, blah. And she's like, nah, would you like to look at my travel business? And I was like, oh, you're a network marketer, right? So I'm pitching her health and wellness. She's pitching me a travel business. So now, at the time, her company cost £77. Mine was like £150. So this is me being an amateur. So we decided to chop and change, a swap. I said, okay, I don't know if it's my idea or hers, I'm going to blame her. But this is my first ever upline in travel in history. Like I said, okay, I will join you if you join me, right? But then I thought about it. I was like, that's not really fair. You're paying only £77. I have to pay £150. It's not really even. But we did it anyway, and it was the best purchase of my life, right? Because I joined this travel company, this network marketing travel company, where I didn't know anything about travel or anything about this type of business. I hadn't made any money in network marketing, but I was looking and I knew travel fit me more than health and wellness. I got into it. And I went onto a Zoom call once, or this is way before Zoom, a Skype call, and Mr. Bradley was on the call. I had hit the rank, or let's say I've got about 10 people on my team, so I've hit a certain milestone in this company. And people are like, yeah, well done, David. And there was a Zoom call, a Skype call where Donald Bradley was on. And that's why I spoke to him for the first time. He saw something in me that I was hungry. I was about my business, my grind, passionate about helping other people. I don't know what it was he saw in me, but he saw a hunger in me. And from that online relationship, he turned it offline. He flew to London for the first time and we did an amazing event. And the rest is history. We started growing. He started flying into London more and more. Our hotel meetings went from 100 people, 200 people, 300 people, 500 people, 600 people, and we started growing. And he took me under his wing. He was, I'll say, 12, maybe 10 levels above me, right? He wasn't my direct upline. He was far away from me. There was many, many, many people between us. But through Tinder, found this lady, shout out to Rosie. I owe her everything because if not for her, I wouldn't have got exposed to this travel company, exposed to Donald Bradley. Shout out to Tinder as well. And yeah, Donald Bradley, has been the biggest blessing of my life, a father figure, a mentor, a God-fearing man who's a husband, who's a father. Everything about him I can learn from. His ambition, his drive, his passion for sports, his mindset. Sometimes I scare myself with the stuff that comes out my mouth. When I'm talking to people that are not on this mindset wave, they can't understand what I'm saying because I'm just so many times regurgitating and thinking, how does Donald Bradley think? If I can be 10% of the man he is, I'll be very happy with the person I am. I can't, shout enough praise about this gentleman. He's changed my life, changed my family's life, changed everything about me. I'm sure we're going to talk about the topic of pyramid schemes and scams and people being skeptical and all that stuff. And sometimes I just have to thank God because that could be me. I could be the person who works every second of the day God gives me for 50p profit. And when someone presents me an opportunity, I say scam. That makes no sense to me. My friend, you are already being scammed. Every single hour you are alive, you are being scammed, and you see this opportunity that you can see other people just like you winning on a high level, and you say scam. Doesn't make sense, right? Um, so I could have been that person, but my mindset is so far away from that where I used to be. Someone who's aimlessly going nowhere. I just have to thank Donald Bradley for the mindset he's installed in me, the motivation, the dedication, the grind. So yeah, that's how I first met Donald Bradley, who obviously we left that company. He started his own company, because he wanted to do things a better way, help people better. And if you want to do something right, you've got to do it yourself. And the rest is history. The company we're in now is a legacy company. It's something that, I can't shout more about. And I love the fact that I'm personally mentored, personally sponsored by him, the only person in Europe personally sponsored by him. It's a huge badge of honor. And, I just try every day to work hard and not let him down.
And it's phenomenal to watch you together as well, actually in person. I'm always like going, God, yeah, wow, you can see there's a real connection there.
Yeah.
You've very much taken on, drawn a mindset from your mentor that
Mm.
is so powerful. That's what's allowed you to grow the largest organization in our company. But also you transmit that to the people that you mentor as well. And I really I love that. I feel blessed that you found someone on Tinder that introduced you an opportunity, and then you were on a Zoom call with this gentleman, Mr.
Yeah.
Donald Bradley.
Yeah.
It's a blessing to me because I get to benefit
Yeah.
from your mentorship and from
Yeah.
and be in environments where Mr. Donald Bradley is as well. It's a
Yeah.
tremendous thing, and
It's crazy when you think about it. A swipe on Tinder in 2000 and 14, swipe on Tinder in 2015, in 2015 led towards a team of nearly 47,000 people, including yourself. Just it's crazy when you think of it like that. But yeah, that's my guy, man. My father figure, my friend, my mentor. Just thank God for him. Yeah.
wow, that's so powerful. I think that might be the excerpt I use at the beginning of the the podcast. A swipe on Tinder, 46,000 people.
Yeah. And
So yeah,
50,000 people,
that's so
lots of swipes.
so powerful.
Yeah.
David, do you have any sort of tips, any advice for those in the business that might feel, in a network marketing business that might feel they've plateaued, maybe they've hit a limit, maybe they've just come in and they're just not, they're not feeling like they're achieving anything. They want to connect with a mentor within their company, and, what should they be looking for and what actions should they perhaps be taking?
Do you know what? What I would say is there's two types of mentors in network marketing. And that's why sometimes some people have negative comments about network marketing. They might say, oh, this company's done this company's done that. Every company in the world is not perfect, and every company in the world has good and bad. You got Primark, McDonald's, Argos. These companies do some things great and do some things not so great. But then you've also got human error and human personality. So you might have an upline who's not a great person and not a nice person, doesn't act the best way all the time, just like a boss. Some bosses, some prime ministers, some presidents don't always do the right thing, right? It doesn't mean America might be bad. It might mean this person who's running the country might be bad. Doesn't mean the UK is bad. Doesn't mean this person who's running the country might do something or say something that's not nice. And it's the same in network marketing. So in network marketing, you have two uplines. One, like myself, I'd like to believe, raised right by my mum, humble, down to earth person. So if I have the six-figure ring, if I have the shiny stars and pins and a big team of 46,000 people and blah, 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 I don't think I'm any better than the person who joined yesterday, right? We are the same person, just in different timelines and journeys in where we are in our business. I just started before you, right? If you started 10 years before me, then it might be the other way around. So it doesn't make me better than you. I'm just lucky enough that I found this business before you, right? So I would work with the newest person. If someone comes to me and says, David, I need some help, I need some mentorship, I'm like, yay. Firstly, you did what is the hard thing to do, which is to reach out. Help me, especially men to men. Um, Men have our egos. Oh, I don't want to reach out to another man, especially if like he's younger than me or I feel I'm better than him. I'm not going to reach out to another man for help. That means I have to first be submissive and say, hey, I'm not making enough money. I'm struggling. I need help. I can't do this. Can you help me lift this heavy load? And for men, that's not macho. That's not alpha, but it is the most masculine thing you can do to identify that you want to provide for your family. This man is providing for his family, and he has the ability to help you, and you have to be humble enough to say, help me, and then you go and become a six-figure income earner or a millionaire, right? That's masculine, but we sometimes look at that the other way. That being said, there's also the upline that says, oh, until you're a gold, diamond, triple sellotape leader, you don't get into my WhatsApp group. Until you wear the triple banner, platinum, superstar, sapphire, diamond walker, we can't talk. Don't speak to me. Don't text my phone. You don't have my number in the first place until you reach this certain level, which makes me X amount of money. There are some people like that, unfortunately. So if you hopefully have a good mentor, a down-to-earth, humble individual who understands their responsibility to help the people in their team, you could simply just ask for help. But one of the best things you can do is light yourself on fire. As you've probably heard many people say, gas, not literally, don't do it. I'll get in so much trouble for that. But light yourself on fire means if you start doing stuff, I promise you, your upline will see. Right? I've had people on my team become millionaires, right? Build teams of stupid amounts of numbers, personally recruit 400 people. I'm going to say that. Where did these 400 people come from? Where? You? Wow, let's go. Right? It's not even a question. But then again, jealousy. Some uplines see you I did my Donald Trump hands. Some uplines will see you doing well, they'll see you flying, and they'll say, they're not better than me, I'm the best. Right? Some uplines might have that jealousy. And again, human error, human mistakes, nothing to do with the company. The company tell them to do that. It's dumb to confront and to compete with someone in your organization who's helping you make money. I've experienced it where I outranked my upline and they got madly jealous. They wanted to be on the flyers, they were egotistical, they wanted to be the star. And when they were on the flyers, it was great. When they started coming off the flyers and a stronger leader, me, came through and I was on the flyers instead of them, oh my gosh, I'm a villain. I'm the worst person in the world. And I was the pioneer. I was the first person. You just came through second. Why are you on the fly? And I've experienced that. And I'm glad I experienced that because now I can help other people. But my best advice would be light yourself on fire. Do all you can do. Hit that first major rank in your business. Maybe by yourself if you can, right? But at the bare minimum, reach out, ask for help. Say it in a way that that person is going to take you seriously. Say, look, this is my why. I need to help my mum who's sick. I need to build a school for my child. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to pay this bill. I need to look after my family. I need to retire my husband, retire my wife, whatever it is, that big, deep why. And I need to make 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 a month in order to do that. I'm hungry. I'm committed. I need a leader who's already done it, who's already earning the income I desire. You are earning the income I desire. I am willing to do everything I can to get to where you are, make us both a lot of money, but I just need guidance. Would you help me, mentor me? Even if you only got 1 hour a week for me, we'll make sure in that 1 hour a week we get a lot done. And I'll go off and I'll personal development and do the rest I need to do myself. But just give me 1 hour to keep me on the right track, to hold me accountable. If you can have that type of message, doesn't have to be word for word, but that type of message where you say, I am your guy, I am your girl, I am hungry, I will help you build this leg of business to whatever you need it to be. If you guide me, I promise you, any smart upline mentor will say, let me grab you and let's run together. So if you're stuck, find someone who's not stuck, find someone who's where you want to be, grab onto their coattails and don't let go. That's what I did with Donald Bradley, hence my success, because I had the best mentor and I never Took my eye off the ball. If he says jump, I say how high. No ego. No, I don't want to do it today. No, I don't think you're right. No, you're rich. I'm broke. Let me follow you. That simple. Donald Bradley, my mentor, calls it the power theory. My power is bigger than your power. You listen to me. You listen to me. Small money don't tell big money what to do. That simple. And for men, sometimes it's hard. But for me, I was too broke to have an ego. What am I got ego for? I've got nothing in my bank account. So let me be humble, follow, listen, learn. My biggest strength in network marketing is humility. And yeah, that's the message I'll give to anybody stuck looking to break through.
Wow, wow, wow. What a strong way to close out. That was truly amazing. And I would say, yeah, 100% is that it's so great to have a mentor and an upline with that attitude, David, in yourself that will ask questions of his own downline. "Oh, how did you do that? How did that?" That's that humility. You're always looking to improve, to learn. You model that, and so that inspires others to do that. And I really, yeah, it's something that you do so well. And I loved what you were saying as well about how to connect with a mentor. I think it's Steve Harvey said this. That I think he's a comedian, and said that don't ask someone for a fish sandwich. Ask someone to teach you how to fish. And
Mm,
don't go
love
to your mentor and go, I need this, I want this. Go, I'd love for you to explain how you fish. I need to learn how to fish better to feed my family.
that.
And that's the sort of conversation, and that's what people respond to. And yeah, you
100%.
you have, David, I think for all the mentors I've worked with, I'm very blessed to have multiple mentors like your brother Toby, the sideline, brother John, and I've. But the great thing about yourself is that one of your strongest abilities, as Donald Bradley says, is availability. You are available for the people that are that are showing the keenness, wanting to be mentored.
Mm,
Massive credit to you. That's how you've got
thank
to
you.
where you are. you know, so
Thank you.
thank you, thank you, thank you so much for the blessing of your time today, Mr. David Dacosta. I know we're
No
going to get
problem.
lots of requests to have you back on.
Mate, honestly, please, 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 please. I would definitely, maybe change the topic, but I would
Yeah.
love to do this again. I would absolutely love to do this again. This was fun for me, So yeah,
Oh, Mr. David
fun.
Dacosta, thank you so much for your time. There's going to be links to David, etc., in the show notes, and yeah, fantastic. We'll see you on for a next one. How are we going to top this? How are we going to top this? Thank
Boy,
you,
we have to
David
find a way.
DaCosta.
Always growing, always developing. Let's find a way. Thank you, Dan. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.